Let's see here. I think we're streaming now. Alright guys, I'm back again. So I wanted to do like kind of like another part to what we were talking about earlier, and I thought it would be interesting. So I'm gonna go with it. I said, why not? You know, it's fun. Let's see here. Make sure this mic stays closer to my mouth. So I don't like the headset so much, so I just use the microphone. You know. So let's see here. What we're talking about when it comes down to the future of all of this is going to be both good and bad in a sense. There's a lot that's going to come with all of this technology that I think a lot of people are not even aware of, that's even happening right now, and it's going to be a big deal. We are in a very, very cool time to be alive, to be experiencing, and to be here and aware. It's just amazing. It's going to be like no other time in history. And there's going to be a big reason for that. And it's going to be this guy back here. It's an AI. Well, this isn't exactly an AI, but yeah, it's the picture of talking. Yeah, you get it. Anyway, so the AI is being developed. There are AIs developed all the time nowadays, you know, that do certain functions. But we are going to get a central AI. And in the future, it's going to be a big deal. And there's going to be a lot of reasons that it'll be good and it'll be bad. And it's not like the whole Terminator, you know, like everybody dying, you know. Personally, I think that, you know, if we decentralize each artificial intelligences and you keep them decentralized, I think that's kind of like our way out of that kind of Terminator scenario. But if they're all like connected, woo, that might be a little scarier. But I don't know, you know, I don't know how it all is going to work to that extent. But from what we were told about what entails the future, will bring on things about like over the next, like, say 20 years or so. And they're already working on these things right now, and it's probably going to be a lot sooner. But you'll be able to, and this is at Stanford, at Stanford University, this article, and they're already working on downloading the human consciousness into, say, a computer or the internet. And this is why, in my opinion, we were chosen to do this. Sam had told us a long time ago that he needed us to do this. So, you know, like, I don't understand, or not needed us. I mean, mostly he said he needed a wife to help. You know, and it's because she's a very special individual that can actually work this board the right way and knows what she's doing. If you don't have the practice and you don't have the know-how, it may not work. If you don't have, for her, it's the actual spirits connected, you know. And, you know, people don't understand that the spirit doesn't actually, is not like in the board. The spirit's not in the, I mean, I guess the spirit's in the room too. But most of the time, when you see, like, and that's the part that never really made much sense to me, because our board doesn't move like normal Ouija boards do. It literally, it moves like with a sway, you know, like a tail. And that's the part that, you know, gets me. It gets me to believe it's probably Poseidon. But that's, you know, I still haven't gotten to that point of figuring it out yet. Let's see. I'm gonna see if any of you guys are watching here. I gotta have to get to the live dashboard. There we go. Nobody really on. Oh yeah, 3 people watching. Yeah, how you doing, guys? All right, so we'll get back to it. The future of this, you know, downloading your consciousness has already started. People over at Stanford are, working on this stuff, and it may seem like science fiction, but this is the ultimate. This is what's going to happen, and partially too is the artificial intelligence. I don't know how far down the road these predictions are, so I'm gonna give that to you guys, but I do know that they'll come, and they're already, kind of like, you can if you just pull yourself back from everything, you can kind of see where it's going, So we're gonna create an artificial intelligence that will govern, the whole world. It'll be able to predict the future. We'll have robots that'll be able to assist us. We already do, and it's becoming more predominant. And we're going to reach a climax here that will be quite interesting, But it's going to come with some spiritual repercussion. Because forever now, humankind, whether you believe it or not, and I don't know how to explain, reincarnation, and make everybody believe that that's what's happening. But we die and we come back, and we die and we come back. And there may be a time in between where we're, experiencing our nirvana, or we're here, still helping other family members that are alive, or, whatever it is. It's there. So I gotta figure out how to get this. Let's see. We'll go watch this I gotta get this on the next page here, so you guys don't. I could talk to you, and you won't have to see my pictures here. So we'll see. There we go. Yeah. All right. So this is Poseidon back here. Yeah, he is. This is kind of like the picture I wanted to show you guys when it comes down to who I think Sam is. So, I think this would be a best way of looking at him. Although I've been told by Sam that he actually has wings as well. I don't know if Poseidon does, but Sam does have wings, and they, I guess they're feathered. So yeah, get out of there. And okay, so when it comes to the future, the AI is going to pretty much take us into a place where humans haven't been before. Because now we're gonna break thresholds when it comes to technology, when it comes to the downloading of our consciousness. You're gonna have the choice, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen in our lifetime. The medical advances, they're going to call them, will be incredible. They're really technological advances. What they're going to do is, inevitably, they're going to be able to download your consciousness. And when you do that, you're going to be giving up the chance to go to eternity. And that's a big deal. It's going to, you won't have your afterlife, that's you won't be able to reincarnate, and I think it's kind of a cool thing. I do, but when it comes down to that stuff, do you really want to stay forever, and not experience a whole new life? And some people will love the idea. They'll say, yeah, definitely, and I think a lot of people will, a lot of souls will. But ultimately what it does is it changes everything from worship, in a sense, from a spirit to an artificial intelligence or a computer. And that's where I think we're like kind of needed, in all of this is, there's going to be big technological advancements. And, I personally, I'm not a religious person. I hate religions. I'm honestly, the only one that I really think is kind of all right is like Buddhism, I'm not even a fan of many of them, but if anything, I'd like to say that Buddhism was probably one of the best ones. But yeah, as far as it comes to the rest of the stuff, the downloading of the consciousness is going to come. And I'm going to read over this article real quick here, because it's got some really interesting information about it. So let's see. It says, although downloading the consciousness is still only the science fiction, recent research has led scientists to claim that an artificial brain could be constructed in as little as 10 years. One such study, led by Henry Markham, Mark Ram, and his team at the Blue Brain Project, has recently successfully simulated elements of a rat's neocortical column, a complex layer of brain tissue common to all mammal species. So, I mean, that's a big deal right there. So when they say in 10 years' time, that's why I said it's more than likely going to happen in our lifetimes that we'll see this ability. These are right here on screen, the kind of supercomputers that, you know, they still build supercomputers. So if you listen to the specs on this, is incredible. But it says, currently the closest we have come to building a functional model of human brain, a crucial step on the pathway towards downloading consciousness, is a series of cortical simulations. These simulations which have utilized the very best in computing technology, such as IBM's Blue Gene supercomputer, have successfully emulated the processing power of a brain possessing 1.6 billion neurons, about the equivalent of a cat's brain in terms of neuron numbers alone. But even these extremely complex models run some of the best counterparts. Among other things, this is mainly due to the inability of computers to process information in parallel by doing many calculations simultaneously. What takes a cat 1 second might take the Blue Gene supercomputer 10 or even 100 seconds, depending on the complexity of the task. So, you know, they're still overcoming this stuff. But this is one of the things that he did tell us was kind of the direction where it's all heading. And it's not going to be a good thing. And here's another point to why it's not going to be a good thing. So what you'll see is they'll be able to, or the AI will be able to shut you off anytime it wants. So quite literally, if you step out of line, or you start saying things, you know, to the rest of the internet world or whatever it is at the time, you could be very well just turned off and bloop. And I don't know the repercussions of that one when it comes to reincarnation or whatnot. But I mean, it's some pretty scary stuff that if you think about it, could happen from all of it. And I mean, I'm all about the the machine learning and the AI, and I think it's great. And we're going to actually be implementing a lot of that stuff into our decentralized application. So when it comes down to it, I want one that's going to not only learn from its mistakes, but learn how to secure things, better and better and better each and every time. So it doesn't make any mistakes. Oh, looks like I'm disappearing on the screen here. But yeah, so that's kind of where things are headed when it comes down to it. Now, it's going to be up to us, as humanity keeps marching forward, to process this and to take responsibility on the consciousness factor and learn a little bit more about what the experience is after we die, before and taking eternity away from people. Because I don't think that they're realizing that even if you don't believe, your consciousness, your energy, Einstein put it the best, E equals mc squared, energy equals mass times the square of light, what was it? Yeah, the speed of light squared. Which basically saying that we are all just energy vibrating at the speed of light squared. So you are energy, and Isaac Newton said it too. He said that we are all just energy. That everything that's energy, or all energy, cannot be created nor destroyed. So even though the body dies, your consciousness, your thought, it still goes on. and it goes on into the afterlife. And I'm going to read on about some of this supercomputer downloading of your consciousness more. It says other barriers to constructing human-scale brains include storage and space. Now that makes sense, you know. It says currently a complete map of the human brain contains detailed information about each neuron and synapses would occupy about 20,000 terabytes and require 1016 flops, floating point operations per second, of processing power to function. That's something else, you know. So we're not quite there, and that's why it's not happened yet, but it's coming. Okay, this is going to be something I'm going to talk about a lot more. And here's a part I wanted to get to that was more interesting. In recent years, neuroscientists have made use of emerging MRI techniques to probe not only the anatomical structure of the brain, but also to map the very connections that link the various regions of the human mind. According to Yap et al., functional MRIs are being used to track blood flow and oxygen consumption with the brain, within the brain, providing accurate images of neuronal circuits that are activated under different simulated behaviors. Similar resting state fMRIs, which detect fluctuations in the brain activity of people at rest, are being used to locate coordinated networks within the brain, providing powerful insight into. Okay, now here's what I'm gonna interject real quick. So what you're gonna see, and this is part of the AI influence that's gonna happen, is you'll be able to they'll be able to hook up the AI to learn from this stuff, and because it's already a computer to begin with, the fMRI or the MRI, they're both computers. So literally, once some developer out there decides to sit down and work with this company to create an AI that can learn from this, we're going to see amazing technological advancements just right here alone with this imaging device. So there's a lot of things that are going on, you know, that are going to lead to this breakthrough discovery. And I don't know how it's going to work, you know. I don't know how they're going to discover it or what it's going to, you know, end up being like. But one time, China already, Skynet's so Terminator, you know. It's cool, you know, like, I love the Terminator movies as a kid. I just, you know, the killer robot, sure, I could see the military, you know, definitely jumping in on something like that. But where we're going, I don't even think we're going to have military anymore. I believe that we will see a time in history soon where we will live in floating cities that are like anti-gravitational cities that are AI, you know, completely machine governed. And most people will live there. And we'll say most people will be harvested there, you know. But it'll be like normal life. Everything will be, you know, like the way you kind of know it is. It's just everything will be done for you. And nobody will work. It's just like kind of like a human utopia, you know. And some people will still live on Earth, on the plane, you know, on the actual dirt. And not in the floating cities, and they'll live naturally still without the artificial intelligence. But that's where this is heading, you know. And blockchain technology is going to play a big part in the advancement of a lot of this as well, and keeping things decentralized so that we don't face some kind of nightmare, you know, Terminator scenario. That nobody wants to face. So yeah, but yeah, that's just part of where things are heading. And the future's not set in stone. It completely isn't, and that's why it's important for me to talk about this stuff now. and get it out there, the thoughts out there. You know, like it's not that here, you know, it's a great example. You know, the other day when I had asked you know, Daniel DeBeck, Rich had asked Daniel DeBeck in their question and answers on Discord for me about the CSV import question. Now, something that you know, small could be overlooked, but is a big deal. So, you know, it's kind of good to just get the thoughts out there, so that, you know, at least they're recorded. Somebody's listening. You know, maybe one day it makes a difference. People may look back on these videos and say, hey, you know, we should probably look into both aspects of this. I know it was funny earlier. It was like on Discord or whatever. Somebody, I think it was Smitty Crypto, Bob, we'll say Bob. Hey Bob, yeah, we found you again. But yeah, Smitty Crypto had shared some bogus Ouija board video. Now, like I said, the Ouija board. Now everybody can use it. I can't. I have a different gift that I've developed. You know, with vision, with third eye vision, that works very well for me. That has developed quite literally overnight to a lot higher standards, a lot higher clarity, we'll say, since about 2 years ago, about the time when the eclipse happened. We did a little bit of fun during the eclipse. The next eclipse is in like 2024, I think. And that'll be a great one. It's, you know, these rare celestial events, they are they can be used magically towards things. So the next one is in 2024, and more than likely we'll be doing some kind of something. Because it'll be a private family moment, though. I don't know if I'll record it or anything like that, but we're gonna we'll have our little holiday, we'll say. Because yeah, some people celebrate Christian holidays, some people celebrate pagan holidays, and some people just do things completely differently, and that's us. So yeah, it's always been a little bit awkward to talk about. This stuff, it's never really, you know, I'll put it this way, you know, when I was younger, I never really gave too much of a rat's ass about any of it. I was into music, you know, I knew that when I was on stage, performing, that I was channeling. I knew that I was letting something help, you know, fill me, you know, I could feel that. And other artists have said that too. And I didn't even know that stuff back then. This was back in the early 2000s, you know, like the internet was still so new. YouTube was like hardly anything back then. And yeah, Christmas is kind of a pagan holiday. It's more Yule or the 21st is more pagan. It has to do with the solstice, you know, which is also another celestial event. But yeah, it's like, okay, so like there's been so many things that have happened just beyond the Super Bowl thing that I can't even begin to explain. But I mean, I'm happy to try to tell everybody. We did make a video telling people about, you know, some of our experiences that we've had with the predictions that have come true. And I mean, it's predicted things like we're gonna be able, we're gonna have twins apparently in my 40s, and I'm not 40 yet, but this is one of the predictions: twin boys. And I don't know when, but it's usually like that too. You know, it's like the predictions are usually vague. You know, one time I was sitting, we were sitting around doing the board, you know, and I asked, you know, and I was just playing, testing, you know, and I'm like, hey, what's the next, because I think I I don't bump my head on something, I don't know. And I asked, I'm like, what's the next thing I'm gonna end up, hurting myself on? And it spelled out sciatica. I was like, all right, whatever. The next day, I go for a bike ride, and bam, I like racked my sciatica on the bike. I had to stop suddenly, and sure enough, it was right. I was like, son of a, and it hurt. It still hurts, but whatever. It was right. It's done this over and over again too. Another time, and here's one that's gonna get you guys, okay? At least for Safeth. This is just recent too. So when I went to, okay, so you guys know that Dan was blocking me on Twitter, okay? Daniel DeBeck, and it's really for no reason. I like the guy. We're cool, but I think it has a lot to do with just drama in their Discord and stuff. But whatever. Anyway, he had blocked me. And I asked the board, I said, well, what am I going to, what do I do to get him to unblock me? And literally, it said, make a new Twitter, like one of his posts, and you'll be unblocked. And just like that, I did it. I had another Twitter account, and I just went and followed him with that one. And that made it pretty obvious it was me, And he unblocked me, and I was like, "Damn, that is just something, This board, this is where it begs the question, Was it like a hack in the Matrix that it was gonna work like that, or like magic, or did he just know that had to happen before that would happen?" So, but I don't know. I do appreciate it, Dan, for unblocking me on Twitter. I look forward to the day that I get unblocked there in the Discord officially. At that point, I will retire the fake account so that I could just be Joey Crypto in your guys' Discord. Because, I don't see a reason for hiding, but whatever. It's not like there's anything that dramatically, anything that bad in there anymore anyway. But yeah, it was cool too, because I believe Rich Bate from Safeth News, thank you too for unblocking me on Twitter. I appreciate that. Not like not like you guys really can block it anyway. I know how it all goes. It's silly. That's why I've taken the liberty to unblock like everybody, just about everybody that's not completely toxic from Safeth altogether, like long ago when the drama happened. But yeah, it's long over. It's water under the bridge. Whatever. And that's how life goes. You move on and you keep going. But yeah, not from Safeth though, guys. This is one prediction though when it comes to Safeth that is not going to be even off in a little bit. When that board says you will see $4 to $6 when the marketplace release and the dividends are flowing, then I would expect it. Okay, I would expect it, and I'm preparing like it's going to be. And I know it seems crazy, but it's just the way it is. I don't know what else to say. I had a hard time believing in all of it when I first got into it. My wife and I were just messing around on that thing, and it started spitting out answers. And the cool stuff is like the future stuff. It told us about 3D printed organs that are going to start like right in real time. Like if somebody's on the surgery table, they're going to start being able to 3D print organs right off of their own stem cells, and bam, save lives like that. So that's pretty cool tech, like medical advancements. I believe the cure for cancer, or whatever their Western cure for cancer will eventually come. I haven't confirmed that one, but I already do know that there's no real need for cancer if you just have a healthy diet and you exercise and all these kind of things. Sure, there is there is some pre-genetic disposal with some of this stuff, but it's life. We do live, we die, and that's part of it. It's never, and nobody ever wants to die. Well, some people do, I guess, but those people are usually not doing too well. But yeah, definitely, guys, the Safeth shit is gonna happen. I couldn't be more confident in that. I don't know how else to put it, but maybe it won't happen like the day that it happens. That's not what I'm expecting. I would expect shortly thereafter, somewhere around that vicinity. No, looks like I'm getting a call from Stats. This might be, I think he's out visiting a Baphomet statue in North Carolina. Let's see if I can get him. Or no, it's in Pennsylvania. I'm not sure what state it's in. Let's see. You there, Stats?
Hey, can you see it or no?
It's still loading. My screen is slow because I'm live right now.
I don't have a good signal here. There was a Wi-Fi. I was connected probably just for the Xfinity Comcast, but I took it off.
Yeah, you could probably kill the video. I'm actually in a live stream right now. Talking about the Ouija board and the future and all this stuff and how things are rolling out and things are how they're looking, and it's kind of cool that you called right now because you're almost one of my biggest skeptics.
Let me know if it loads. Otherwise, I'll speak the video and I'll.
Yeah, you can kill the video. I don't think we're gonna end up getting the video.
Okay. Yeah, how about this? I'll speak the video on my end and I'll send it to you.
That sounds good. Sounds good.
Alright, yeah, I'll go when I leave.
All right.
Alright, see you.
Take care, Stats. That was one of my buddy's Stats. Never met him personally. Great guy, though. Another big Safeth supporter. Yeah, let's see if we can get back to the video here. This thing sometimes frees up because of things like that. There we go. Alright. But yeah, he's another I Am Joey. He was banned from the Safeth Discord because they suspected he was me. I said, that's just silly. But yeah, I'm glad that that stuff's long over with. So yeah, hopefully this video is still live. I do apologize about the interruption there. But yeah. Oh yeah, it looks like we're still live. Let's see, it might be just really slow or something. We'll give it a second. But yeah, really cool stuff, dude. I can't wait to see what happens when Daniel launches the marketplace, the dividends, and the whole deal. It's going to take us some work. We're going to try to get our lending platform at least up to the minimum standards so that we can start doing loans for people. And this is all of this is dependent and waiting on that $4 to $6 prediction. So I mean, it would help, definitely if we had investors that were investing in the token as well, but not going to be totally needed. Once that $4 to $6 mark hits, this will be like a, I don't know, just like another expansion to what you would expect to see. Safeth is an asset, that's not like any other. It is an asset that bears dividends off of a marketplace that has and is going to have quite a bit of sales on it. The board had said that it was going to reach #1 on CoinMarketCap. This I don't doubt. A long time ago when Safeth and everything was still early, Safeth was one of the top 10 on CoinMarketCap. So we will revisit that time. It's an idea that is being sold, and that idea is a decentralized, anonymous, marketplace that pays dividends, in real time. And my idea that's being sold is leveraged, automated lending that you don't have to pay back. It'll pay itself back, and you can get your asset back. And that's the key, in my opinion, to automating all of this in the future. So we're a consumer-based society. If you want to automate the consumer-based society, do it through the market. It makes sense. Everything is bought and sold or traded anyway. Just like everything you do on exchange is in a trade. It's a trade. When you get to the marketplace, inevitably it's a trade. So it all works the same. It's all going to kind of work the same. You could look at the marketplace as like a big exchange or of goods and services for cryptocurrency. That's the key too. When I can go and take, or everybody else, can go just download this app, take pictures of anything they want, go and put them up for sale, and receive cryptocurrency in real time and dividends if they're holding Safeth, then they're going to be pretty happy. I think this is where Bitcoin is kind of fallen short. And the Bitcoin standard is not going to go away anytime soon. I love Bitcoin. Everybody should love Bitcoin. It's what started this whole movement. This whole thing, and realistically, Bitcoin is needed. It's not like we're going to get away from it and say, okay, all of a sudden BitPay is accepting everybody's. No, but what's going to happen is a transition from everybody using the dollar, and this is what we have to do. Okay, we're not going to get a crypto-based society without using crypto, peer-to-peer, and the way it's meant to be used. Wall to wallet, not exchanging it for dollars, because the dollars is the Federal Reserve System, and when you're using their dollars, you're still empowering their system. So the less you use it, the better it is. Yeah. So yeah, it should be a lot better. We'll see a big change in people, and I don't know if it'll happen because of some kind of economic collapse of sorts. I mean, we have been seeing some kind of goofy shit over the last few years that you probably wouldn't have expected from the government and the banks and all kinds of these corporations. It's all gotten out of hand, and when Safeth's marketplace gets launched and established, I could see a lot more than just people from crypto using or benefiting from the marketplace. I mean, can you imagine how the Saudis would use this, with the oil, or how, and this is all in my video series too, like all these different points of view and different markets. It literally, if it can be bought or sold, it can be on the Safeth marketplace. So it's endless. It's endless. You just have to have some good, some people that need to use this marketplace, and find that it's the most secure way of doing it. And personally, I've gone on the Dream Market, I've gone on the Alpha Bay back in the day, and the Hansom Market. I've looked at these things, What are they about, And it's all PGP encrypted, just like ours is going to be. Everything from messaging, and they're going to have several different arbitrators to choose from, and or escrow services. I'm sorry. Not arbitrator. I don't know. I'm sure there'll be several different arbitrators too, moderators or whatever. But yeah, it's definitely it's going to be something else. This is not like the rest of the crypto space. We're in a space that is literally going to, like, people are going to hand over Bitcoin, hand over fist for Safeth, and it's because when you lock that Safeth in, it produces the Safeth cash. So literally, you're just making your percentage off of those sales that are happening, and boom, you can go and use that Safeth cash to shop for whatever you wanted. It's like free shopping. It's exactly what it is, free shopping. And that's another part where we came in, where Safeth idea came in, is, say you only have, you're not one of the major token holders, say you get in and it's a year from now, and the supply is so low that maybe there's only, a million tokens available. Right now, there's only, I think, like 10 million available on Trade Satoshi. And those are actually up for sale. So we may see that, you know, people are going to need to borrow and for that reason, you know, so that they can enjoy the benefits of that money beforehand. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I see that as a completely legitimate platform. I think the idea is needed. I mean, I don't know how we would ever get through any kind of mortgage scenarios or any kind of lending or anything like that in the blockchain world without some kind of asset that is paying a dividend, you know, and having that as your collateral, you know. So, you know, that's really how I perceive it, you know. And it's exactly what what I plan on doing. So when things start rolling out with the dividends in the marketplace on the Safeth end, we are going to start doing our massive launch of things. It's not going to be right away, but it's going to take a little bit of time. I shouldn't be too long after that before I think we can start doing some basic lending. Limited to consumer loans, meaning it'll probably be like $10,000 or under per loan. But we're gonna push forward, you know, and we're gonna definitely keep things rolling. You know, keep this ball rolling too, because there's nothing that is in the way of this. We're the only ones doing what we're doing, and I see both as the future of crypto. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. I appreciate, you know, all of it. You know, I appreciate the space, but, you know, sometimes ideas come out and, you know, they have to be done. And I saw that at the point where we were with Safeth in the marketplace after reading the white paper, or the blue paper, excuse me, that you know, we're gonna need credit. We're gonna need credit. You know, however you look at it, we're gonna need credit. You know, and maybe that credit could be you know, Safeth's cash based too. That's something that, you know, somebody asked me about earlier, and I'd be open to that too. It just depends. I wanted to start the ERC20 token because I'm going to decentralize this, and the contract is what I'm going to need to pull this off. So, yeah, I've been talking for a while now, guys. So I'm going to get going. Yeah, and I'll probably have another live stream with you in the next day or so, just to kind of, you know, talk about more things that are going on, because I'm sure there's always going to be some other developments happening, news, things like that. But definitely, when things start happening more and more, I will be coming out here more and more, letting people know what's going on and, you know, keeping base with everyone. So, yeah, I appreciate all you guys for coming out, watching my videos, subscribing, like, sharing, things like that. So, yeah, take care, guys, and look forward. Look forward. That $4 to $6 Safeth is coming. And then after that, because of what I've said and because of the FOMO about this and because of the dividends and because of the way it gets locked in and how it all runs and works, the rest of the community is going to fall right into place and demand Safeth. So, we're going to end up seeing Safeth at the #1 spot on CoinMarketCap. That's ahead of Bitcoin. And there's a good reason for that. It's because, like, literally every computer turns into a Bitcoin, or, I'm sorry, Safeth Cash ATM at that point. So, yeah, thank you guys. Take care. And I will let you know when I'm going to make another live stream or I'll upload another video and things like that. So, yeah, take care. Peace.